What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks here on RotoGrinders / Scores and Odds. If you haven't signed up for Scores and Odds yet, just go do it. Don't be dumb. Just literally go do it. It's very simple. It's very, very good priced, and you get all my picks. And if you also want my picks and you haven't signed up for Discord yet, go to scoresandodds.com/Discord and get in the Grant's Action Lounge. Every bet that I have on today's show is already in the Action Lounge. So the line may have moved. I don't know. But pretty much every single bet I'm making is getting posted in that Discord. Just go to the pinned tweet. We had a nice little 19 and 13 day plus 4.81 units yesterday in the Action Lounge, which all those bets were also on this show. So yeah, if you guys tuned in, you made a good amount of money. Solid overall day. I am joined by one of the best future bettors in the business. Great better outside of that. Good with props. He's just good at his job. Zach Price, aka Zachonomics, on Twitter. How you doing there, Zach?
Grant, thank you for having me join you again. And I can confirm you were hot yesterday because you came on my show, the Denver Sports Betting Show, and you kind of ran down the picks because I don't like betting that first day after All-Star break, after a week layoff. And I woke up to texts and tweets and DMs this morning like, thanks for all the great picks. I had a couple guys hit like 3-leg same-game parlays and all that stuff. You were hot yesterday. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I've been hot. I don't know how, but I just absolutely cleared house during the All-Star break. Like I had 180% ROI during the All-Star break betting. I hit a 12-leg parlay on college basketball that I didn't know a single player from. I now know Scottie Pippen Jr. plays for Vanderbilt because I watched like the last 3 minutes of that game because that was my one sweat. But yeah, I've run so after a horrible January, I've been just crushing it. So we're gonna keep it rolling. I've got a decent amount of bets today. Yeah, and you've got some decent ones. Here they are on the screen. If you can see them, I'll try and make them bold here. The ones you sent me over. I know that you said the double was wrong. I'm taking that off the screen. Sorry, I didn't do this editing.
Yeah, take Cat out of there. He's on a back-to-back. I wanted to get that double off my list when I remembered that, and then take Suggs out of there. Suggs is just a youngster. We'll talk about the theme of these youngsters, getting time to play and just shoot without reckless abandon. So we're going to get him out of there. I don't want to touch his under.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just get right into it. Let's just go game by game here. Toronto at Charlotte. I've got a few bets on that game. I have Gary Trent Jr. over 25.5 PRA. Gary Trent Jr. over 19.5 points. And Siakam over 4.5 assists. I mean, it's Charlotte. Charlotte's the best matchup on the board. If the lines are way too high, I will generally just stay away. But the lines aren't high enough. I mean, Gary Trent Jr., he's been a little bit up and down, but I don't care. Like 19.5 and 25.5. Like this guy's too good. 20 or 15, 12, 26, 12, 16, 17, 13, 20, 22, 28, 22, 24 shot attempts. Like he's real streaky, but this line going up against Charlotte is just far too low for me on both his points, his PRA, and then Siakam. You know me, I always hit Siakam every time it's at 4.5 assists, especially in a high-paced game.
Yeah, and you know what? That Trent line, as soon as he said 25.5, I was like, is that his points line? Did it go up like that? Because he can get that in points. And anytime I got a scorer who can go over the PRA number in points alone, it's almost an auto bet. Like he could score 26 points. He doesn't need a rebound or assist. So I love that. In the Siakam assist, I mean, I did research on that. Ever since the COVID outbreak in late December, Siakam's like average. He almost never goes below 4 assists. So like 4 is almost his floor. So if the prop's 4.5, that's almost an auto bet these days. I got just like my favorite guy to watch in the whole NBA, and I watched him in Cleveland over the All-Star break. I was at every festivity there, so I watched him, in the All-Star game dunking and in the Rising Stars game doing his thing. He's a walking triple-double, in my opinion. I know he averages like 7.5 and 7.5 on the rebounds and assists, but FanDuel's given 12-1 on the triple. So I'm going LaMelo triple, and I'm also going to grab the double while he's coming off, the All-Star high. A lot of times I'll go under on guys coming off the All-Star game, but he's so young. I almost feel like he's going to be elevated from playing with all those superstars and kind of watching their work ethic and how they play. So I'm just rolling with a LaMelo Ball, a double and a triple double. He's not going to hit that triple every time, but I love when he scares those numbers. So I'm going to roll with it.
Yeah, I really like those bets there. I mean, like he's young and they've been a little bit careful with his minutes, but now getting into the thick of things, I think they're still vying for a playoff spot here. So, or at least a play-in spot. Yep. So yeah, I definitely like that. And then I guess I had one more bet: Miles Bridges over 19.5 points, 22 plus, and 4 of the last 5, sitting at minus 105 over on WinBet. Like it's weird. I was getting asked questions like, "Oh, what's the best site to bet on?" Like, it entirely depends on the day. I didn't have a single bet over on Win yesterday. I've got 8 of them up to date. Like I had to deposit in my WinBet my Win account because they just had like so many good lines today. So we're going to be seeing quite a few of them.
A lot of times it's like when they update their odds. So you might get a prop, like some of them that I gave you, I noticed the odds change. Some sites don't change all their odds, and then some like do a weird update where like suddenly you're betting everything in one book. I noticed that too.
Yeah. Caesars and Win are historically the worst I've seen at updating odds, followed by Score, followed by Rivers. So if you haven't signed up for those accounts, there's occasional days where there's some news or some not big news, but a little bit of news where the lines just aren't moving like they're supposed to over those sites, and you can get a whole bunch of value. We'll get to a few more of them soon. Let's go on to the next game here. We got San Antonio going up against Washington. I have Kuzma over 4.5 assists. He's hit that in 3 of the last 4 games. He's been dishing the ball out a decent amount. I like the matchup. It's going to be a fast-paced matchup. Vassell over 2.5 assists. I got it plus 150. And since Derek White has been moved out of the team, traded off, looking at the last few games, like 6-1, 4-3, 3-1, 3-4. Getting this at plus 150, absolutely ridiculous to me. I do not understand it. And then I hit the over on Keldon Johnson points of 15.5. I mean, good matchup versus Washington. He hits that. And then the over DeJounte Murray, 9.5 assists. I've got a decent amount of action on this game.
Yeah, that Vassell character. I remember when they came in to Denver and I watched him at Ball Arena. I was like, who is this guy? He's very athletic. So I'm glad to see he has a chance to play a lot more now. I was excited. I mean, his field goal percentage was extremely low that night, but I'm excited to watch him kind of grow as the Spurs are kind of not in the playoffs. You got DeJounte, his over assist, I think, on your board. I am just love taking his triple double anytime now that it's above plus 400. I used to hit this thing in November at plus 1400. But he is really, I mean, even in the All-Star game, because he got added late due to injury, he was phenomenal in that game. He's a walking triple-double, way more than LaMelo. So I'm going to hit the DeJounte triple at 425 at PointsBet. And then I'm just going to be kind of like the Grinch here, and I'm going to go with a lot of unders, Grant. You know, I like unders. Raul Nadeau, okay, so he is starting now the last 5 games, but the last 4 games have been 10, 11, 10, and 12. His prop is right there at 11.5. But he's been hitting those double figures, 10, 11, 10, and 12, with a super high field goal percentage. So I'm good. That's like almost his ceiling, in my opinion. I'm going to go under on Nadeau, under 11.5. And then Kuzma, he's been blowing up. We know he's having his best year. Yeah, there you go with Raul. Since he's been starting, he's hit double figures, but he's been making everything. With Kuzma, he's having a career year. He's averaging like 16 a game. We know, Bradley Beal's out now. His last game, he had 5 points. And so, he could score 25, sure, if he gets hot from 3. But I'm going to play the odds. I'm going to say that he gets 20 or less. I think 20 points out of Kuzma is still considered a good game, and our under would hit. So I'm going to go see if he's probably stays in the high teens, I think is where he should be.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he's been so like tough to figure out. Like he's been so hyper efficient in so many games. And then he has games like this 4 for 9, 2 for 7, and then from behind the arc, like 0, 6, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, 3, 4. Like he's a streaky guy.
Yep.
And I mean, I like that bet there. Anything else we got in this game? Are you ready to move on to the next one?
No, that's good for me.
All right, we got OKC going up against Indy. I've got a few unders here with Goga under 10.5 points, Goga under 16.5 points plus rebounds. Realistically, he's like this. This is our model, really, like both of these. So I'm like, F it. I'm going in. I'm going in on it. Really likes the points and rebounds under more than anything else, but there's not a ton else to love here. I mean, I hammered SGA's over on points, rebounds, assists, over on points, rebounds yesterday. I don't know if the line's out yet for that, but I'm probably going to go right back to the well if it's out there. Let's see. Has it actually come up yet? I know that they were a little bit worried about him playing on back-to-back. We got the announcement, I think, this morning or last night. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's finally up there, all the way up to 25.5. Granted, it's a better matchup, but realistically, this was at 22.5. I still think the over is not a terrible line. I might end up betting this after the show here, but that's really all I can go with over on the OKC side. But Goga unders, and I see that you have a double-double that you like in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to do a theme today with the double-doubles on my overs. So I got a lot of unders today, everyone. I know it's not exciting, but that's what I like. Halliburton, it's a theme I have. So the rising stars of the league who are on teams that are out of the playoffs, like Indiana's with Halliburton, they're going to let these guys play, and they're going to let them just do what they want and make mistakes, create, cause turnovers. Halliburton, when De'Aaron Fox was out on the Kings, he was a double-double machine with assists. I was shocked. He's a great player. I always knew that. He can hit the three, but I love Halliburton double-double, plus 165. I think he's going to be getting a double-double almost every other game. And then I like with SGA on the other side, he's not a young star anymore. He's a star, but he's on a team that's not going to make the playoffs. So they're almost going to let him, develop himself into that primetime player. So I'll never argue against overs for him either that you got over there. That's all I got on the game, Grant. This is a crappy game.
Yeah, it's not a great one, but there are at least some bets. And then, Halliburton. I mean, Brogdon is coming back, but I can't imagine they push him much at all. Like, he might play 20 minutes. I also forgot that I bet the Buddy Hield, over 17.5 points. I mean, that guy's been chucking. He's a shooter. Mm-hmm. He's not going to stop. So get in on those. Let's move on to the next game here. We got Houston versus Lando. Another trashy game. Two terrible teams, two terrible defensive teams, which means I'm probably going with some overs. Right now, I think the main one I have is Cole Anthony over 17.5 points. I mean, he's so hit or miss, but I can't imagine him not getting there in this spot going up against Houston. This game should stay close. Should play 30 minutes. If he plays 30 minutes, he hits the over on this almost every single time. Looking at his game log recently, 23, 9, 17, 18, 23, 9, 22, 15, 20. And every single game where he missed was a blowout. I don't see this game being a blowout. Plus, you can't get a better matchup than Houston outside of maybe Charlotte. So that's what I'm going with. I don't think I have any other bets here. I'm looking. I thought about going with the Christian Wood over rebounds. Thought about the over on points. Didn't go with any of them. You got anything in this game?
I was looking at the Wood double-double because it's a bet I love, but the odds weren't there today. You just got to wait for the odds to come to you sometimes. So like you said, you probably didn't like his overs for the same reason. They probably priced it in tonight. So I have I'm just looking at Wendell Carter here in his game log. So his over-under today, I want to say is, where is it? 17.5. Yeah. So he averages 14 points a game. So right there, I'm going to say, okay, let me look into this deeper. Now, he has a great string of double-digit games, but again, I'm going with the Nadeau. Like his field goal percentage is off the charts right now. Every game, 57%, 55, 50, 53, 70, 75%, 73%, 53. He's over 50% in every game, and he's still not reaching this number every game. So if he just misses a couple shots he normally makes, right there, you're going to hit an under. I like to take the under on guys who really have to stretch it to get over that number. I'm going to take the under on him, but at the same time, it is a good matchup for big men. Mo Bamba is a guy I've hit the double-double on at great odds this year. So it's all about the minutes he's going to get. So now that we're in the second half of the season, not the second half, but the second portion of the season after the All-Star break, he's rested. I feel like they're just going to let this guy go out there and commit 6 fouls a game and then take him out. I don't think they're going to be benching him because he picks up 2 quick ones. They have nothing to play for. So Mo Bamba is a rebounding machine. A lot of those are on the offensive end. So when he grabs that offensive rebound, he puts it back for 2. I'm not going to say he's going to get a double-double every other night, but at plus 375 at Caesars today, I'm going to take that double-double for a little bit of change. It's not going to hit every night, but Mo Bamba, when he gets it going, I mean, I've seen him get 18, 20 rebounds some nights. So I like him as a young player. Again, young player, nothing to play for in the win column. Just let him go wild.
Yeah, I like that bet there. Let's move on to the next game. We got Miami going up against the Knicks. I didn't have much on this one. I think the main one is Lowry under 24 points, rebounds, assists. He just hasn't been needed as much. Like, they're all healthy. Hero's back. Butler's there. Bam's there. Like, they just don't need him too much. And so 24.5, well, it seems like a low number for him. I still think that it's a little bit too high. Outside of that, there's just not a ton to love in this game. I'm kind of out on everything else. Do you have anything for this game?
I'm just going to take a small bet on the Bam Adebayo no double-double. So it's the first game back off the break. I could see guys being a little rusty. They call it the All-Star hangover for a reason. You know, everyone watches the game and they have days off and they're with their family and they come back and, you know, like the bones are a little creaky. He's been injured a little bit this year. It's against the Knicks, right? That's who they're playing. Yeah, in New York. Man, he's averaging 10.2 rebounds. So it's like, he's not like up there at 11 and a half and he's getting double doubles every game. So I'm going to go under on that Bam at minus 105 at DraftKings. Seems like a good value play. I'm not going to put a ton on it, but I like it. I like the Bam no double double.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. There's not going to be a ton of points scored in this. It's total sitting at 211, and I think that's honestly too high. Let's go into the next game here. Philly versus Minnesota. Harden playing his first game for Philly. I strangely enough like the over of 9.5 assists, but I like the under of 38.5 points, rebounds, assists. I mean, I know that he's going to come in there. I know that he's going to do quite a bit, but Maxi's still there, and Embiid's still going to have a sky-high usage. I don't think Harden's going to do that much. I mean, we kind of saw it when Kyrie and Durant were both playing. He just didn't take a ton of shots. He was still dishing it out. Embiid's going to hurt his rebounds. Like, this is a spot here where I think that the points, rebounds, assists is too high, but I think he's going to be facilitating quite a bit. So I like the under on the points, rebounds, assists, and I like the over on his assist prop, though.
Yeah, so it's another situation. So that's what I call like a cross. You got the over on assist and the under on PRA. I love that with LeBron James. I used to hit that middle all the time, hit the under and the over at the same time. James Harden is not going to come in his first game after that long layoff and try to dominate the ball and shoot. It's just not what he's going to do. His teammates would be like, what is this? What is going on? So I love that. In fact, Rand, I know he was on Brooklyn, but he's still James Harden. I'm going to tell you his assists in the last 10 or 12 games he was with Brooklyn was 12, 10, 11, 13, 11, 9. That's the only one under double figures. And then he goes 10, 15, and another 9, 16, and 12. So the only games he was under double figures for like 10 games in a row was a 9 assist game. So I like that just to continue being that playmaker. And like I said, he's not going to be trying to ball hog it. So maybe you're going to catch a middle there. I don't think I'm taking anything on this game. I had the cat double-double because I like the odds. I remembered he just played last night. He was shooting threes in that three-point contest. I was watching him in Cleveland winning that contest. I'm not going to push him too hard on his back-to-back night. And I'm definitely I want to see how Harden and Embiid play together and how the other guys gel in on that one. So I'm just going to sit out this game. I'm going to take a called strike like a baseball player, watch one go right down the middle, and then I'm going to base my next bets on the Sixers based on tonight's game.
I like it. Never a bad move to take the wait and see approach. That points, rebounds, assist under is just so juicy considering there's so much usage to go around in that offense. He can't be the James Harden he was, for instance, over in Houston or with Kyrie and Durant out. Let's go to the next game where I think I have a bunch of bets here. Dallas versus Utah. And I know that you kind of are on the same page as me. I love Gobert over on points. I love Gobert over on rebounds, sitting at 12.5 and 11.5, respectively. Mike Conley, plus 185, over 1.5 steals plus blocks. That's one of my favorite bets on the board today. Like, Conley can easily end up getting that. We look at his game log, and recently I think he's been hanging at about 50% clip. Hitting 2 of the last 4 of the last 7. He's had just as steals 0, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3, 4, 3, 2. And I think one of those games they just didn't really want to play him too many minutes. I know he's not playing a ton of minutes, but he's going up against Luka. He's probably going to end up guarding Luka or Brunson. They're going to have the ball in their hands a lot. Steals plus blocks over 1.5, a game plus 185. I think it's closer to 60% chance that he loses, which offers huge odds. I really like it. What have you got in this game?
Well, Grant, I was so happy to see that you had Gobert over points and over rebounds. So I just took it a step lower than that. I'm just going to hit his double-double. It's minus 160. That's not a lot of juice for a Rudy Gobert double-double. He's played 44 games this year, and he has 35 double-doubles. That's way over 75%. That's like almost 80%. And they're giving you odds at minus 160 on a bet that hits over 75% of the time. I'm going to take that every single time. I know he's healthy because I watched him in Cleveland slamming the ball home in the All-Star game, some monster dunks, as long as he plays a reasonable amount of minutes, and I think he will against, an interdivision matchup against the Mavericks. This is my favorite bet of the night. I'm going to be a little wary because he wasn't playing a ton of minutes the last few games before the break. That was over a week ago. I love the Gobert double-double. I can't say anything else. It just seems like a lock to me. The Jalen Brunson under points, again, I'm going under on a lot of these veterans. So he averages 16.3 points a game, and his prop 17.5. But that average is baked in a lot of games that Luka was out, and he was scoring over 20 a game. And so with Luka back, he's simply going to be shooting the ball less. If he's averaging 16.3 with a lot of games without Luka, when Luka's back and he's 17.5 tonight, I got to go under on Jalen Brunson. I don't think he's going to reach 18 tonight. If he gets hot from 3, he could do it. I'm playing the odds. I'm going under.
Yeah, I think that's the one where we disagree. I actually realized I hit the over of 17.5 on Brunson. So
yeah, let's butt heads.
yeah, that's entirely. I mean, Brunson's like, he's the number 2 option. There's no Porzingis in there anymore. Dinwiddie's really not doing too much. I know it's not an easy matchup versus Dallas, but I mean, 23, 19, 22, 11, 21, 22, 19, 20. I know I'm just being a game log watcher here, but the spread is not terribly big. It's sitting at 6. I could be wrong here, but I hit it. We'll see.
No, that game log, and I do look at the game logs too, just like you were both game log hogs. Let's butt heads, Graham. Pay a little juice to the bookmakers, on tonight.
Yeah, that's how they make their money.
That's right.
Yeah, but you definitely got better odds at minus 103 than I got at minus 115. So we'll see. We'll see who's the fish here. New Orleans going up against Phoenix. Second in back-to-back with Phoenix. No Chris Paul. First of all, I bet the over of Ingram, 0.5 blocks. Plus 185 just seems like a pretty solid overall bet here. I rolled with it. I like it a lot, but one of my favorite bets on the board, Devin Booker, over 7.5 assists. If you go run over to win, sitting at minus 105, sitting at minus 130 on FanDuel, sitting at minus 125 over on DK. It's way up there everywhere else. Coming off a 12 assist game. If you want to hit the ladder, go do it. You can hit 10, 12, 14. Like, he's distributing a ton here. Good matchup going up against New Orleans. Spread's fairly close here. I absolutely love the Booker 7.5 assists. It's just fantastic.
I didn't realize Booker was passing at that clip, and without CP3, that does make a lot of sense. I had no idea.
Well, they decided, they like last night. I thought they might put Holiday in at the 1, but they threw Booker in starting point guard, and so point Booker is incredible.
I'm gonna go with the big guys in this game, and I'm gonna go double doubles. Well, you know what? I'll take the Valanciunas double double. He hits it 35 out of 53 this year. It's minus 190, but they're going to need him to win this game. He's a beast, and they're going to need him to be just a monster down low. I love taking the Valanciunas double doubles. I've missed a couple of them, sure, of course, but his historic double double rate is really high. Last year he was beasting out in the middle of the season, so I think he's going to pick it up after the layoff. No All-Star game for him. One guy that also was not in the All-Star game, but I feel like he has the All-Star potential. I think he's been an All-Star in the past, is Brandon Ingram. The last 3 years, Grant, Ingram's averaged 23.8 points, 23.8 points, and 22.1 this year. His over-under is 20.5. So that's way low, like his average for the last 3 years, including this year. He's one of the better players in the NBA. For him in a league today where the scoring is up, I love him to go over 20 tonight. So if he can get 21 or higher, I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, I mean, they got a pretty decent total, 110. I don't hate that. McCollum's come in there and stolen a bit of his usage, but Ingram, I think he's just shot poorly since McCollum came in there. And he's still sitting at 21, 18, 7, 19 shot attempts. So
he
18
shoots
plus.
And I'll tell you what, Grant, if you don't mind, I want to throw in that Ayton. I know I didn't mention it before. DeAndre Ayton, again, with Paul out, they're going to be looking for scoring. He doesn't pass a lot anyway, but his over-under is 14.5 tonight. He's averaging 16.2. So you're a game log hog. I'm like a body of work hog. And he averages in his career, and we know it's a young career, over 16 a game. So if his prop is 14.5, I really like him to go over that. I mean, he gets 20 on the regular. So give me the Ayton over. I don't take a lot of overs, but I will go on it with this one.
Yeah, and Scores and Odds projections has him projected for 18.28. So wow. I'm actually probably going to hit that right now, and I might honestly hit Booker at 26.5. Caesars has way too low there. That's just a bad line. But I'm definitely hitting Booker or hitting Ayton as soon as Ayton when this show's over. Let's get on to, I believe, the last game here. We got Clippers versus Lakers here. I mean, Lakers are terrible guarding the one. I hit the Reggie Jackson over on points, over on assists, sitting at 18.5 and 6.5. And then, I mean, it's a matchup versus Westbrook and LeBron, and they're turning the ball over a ton. I hit the over of Batum, 1.5 steals plus blocks, sitting at plus 140 over on Caesars.
Okay. Yeah, the Battle of LA. I love when these guys get together. So Zubac. Okay. Zubac's points is 10.5 tonight. I know he does not average a double figures in points. And in fact, he's only gotten double figures in points 21 out of 48 games, way less than 50%. That's closer to 40%. So I'm going to go Zubac under 10.5, basically saying even if he gets a double figures, 10 points, I'm still going to win. That's 5 buckets for him. I'm going under with the Clippers center. One bet, Grant, and anytime I'm on your show and the Lakers play, anytime the Lakers play, I look at this one. This is a bet that's made me more money than almost any prop bet in my career. It's the LeBron James under par, under points, assists, rebounds. Anytime Anthony Davis is out, this number shoots up. And I know, look, I've been watching LeBron since he's been 14 years old in Cleveland, Ohio. I know what he can do, and I know he's going to score 30 points possibly. But 45.5, that's just at the average. I know I had 46.5 in that spreadsheet because that's what it was earlier. There must be some pros out there pounding the under because it's down to 45.5, at least the sites I'm looking at. It's minus 104 on the under at FanDuel right now. Anytime it's over 45, I take the under. Again, he could have a triple-double, a 30, a 10, and a 10 and get 50 par. But, man, he also can have great games and beat the Clippers, the lowly Clippers, without their 2 superstars. 27, 7, and 6. Great game, way under. So I'm going to go LeBron James under par.
I like that. I'm probably going to hit that after the show. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much the end of it. You got any last minute things to say before we get on out of here?
Everyone just follow me on Twitter at Zachonomics. I've been all over the news and articles about me getting banned from sportsbooks and limited. I'm dropping some freestyle raps out there for you hip hop fans. Otherwise, I just got my prop machine working. So these are the first little bits of it in the points column. We're going to hit double doubles, rebounds, even under turnovers and blocks and steals pretty soon. Everyone stay tuned and check out my radio show every day, Denver Sports Betting. It streams live on Twitter. Grant comes on once a week and gives us the props on that show. It's a great show, very sharp. Stay tuned.
Yeah, go check it out. Thanks for joining me, Zach. I think he'll be back on here again next Friday. So look forward to that, guys. We're out of here. See you, kids.